what up, guys? Make sure you guys like, subscribe, get us to 5,000. These chicks, man, like the shit they make me do, bro, it's fucked. So let's get it done. In general, though, a lot of times women want certain things, women want certain like characteristics in a guy. But going back to what I was saying with Andrew Tate, though, the reason why he was canceled is because I told you, you influence young men. Look at the Taliban. That Taliban is a prime example.
Just took a weird.
Because you guys think Taliban are like horrible people. No, but Taliban was just young rebel students. No, listen. Instead of
Let's stop talking about Taliban now,
instead of being like
No. I want to hear this. Let him speak. Let him speak.
So the Taliban. So the way it worked was, I don't know if you guys know the history of it, but Afghanistan was occupied at that time by the states. There was like they were influencing it. They were trying to influence with the Western culture. And I forgot who.
What do you mean by occupied?
Like they tried westernizing it, right? And there were certain groups that didn't like that. And so they fought back, and that's kind of what the Taliban was university students. They weren't like just a bunch of fucking.
What about? Do you support the
Islamic group?
Yes, but what I'm
trying. They
trying.
don't believe women should receive education.
No,
they don't receive
Do you
women
believe
should
that
be in the
women should
workforce.
believe? Do you believe women should
but
take
here- no, but-
And they are
education?
funded and supported by the West.
But you're
don't
not.
get it twisted.
But hold on, wait, no, hold on. What I'm trying to say to you is this, though. You're missing the whole entire point.
They were glorified in the early
before you guys
90s
stop
in the
interrupting me, let me educate you. Let me educate you.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say to you, whether again you're missing the point completely.
Okay, what were you trying to say?
The
What's point?
Taliban was a bunch of young males.
Okay.
They formed together.
Okay.
And look what happened. That's what I'm trying to say is that
Corruption.
when you influence young males, what happens?
Corruption.
A shift in power happens.
But
That's
that's
what
not
happens.
how we got on this topic.
But no,
I'm so
I just
confused
told
now.
you. Okay. But stop
What
fucking
were you
interrupting.
trying to say from the
Let me
beginning?
explain. If you guys keep interrupting, that's why. Andrew Tate, super influential.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Right.
He influenced young males. That was his age group. Stop, please. Young age groups.
Okay.
Young men.
Okay.
I just gave you an example. What happens when you influence young males? The
Ability
Taliban.
to control
the
the
Taliban.
masses.
But
That's
sorry.
so you're talking about the ability to control the masses.
Because if you control young males, that is the backbone of society. You always need young males to control to any sort of infrastructure out there. Think about it. Look what's going on with the construction in Canada.
So-
The reason why housing market's so fucked up. They don't have young males building shit. Young people don't want to go into construction.
Why do you think men are the backbone of society?
Because men,
Kinda
what do you
are,
mean?
though.
They kind of are. Plumbing, electrical, sewage,
That's-
roads, buildings, engineering. Everything you see is designed by a man. It's young males.
Why don't you think there's female engineers or
Because
female doctors?
I'm not saying there's not. I'm
That's
saying that
what-
it's a
he's gonna say it's an
minority.
anomaly.
It's a minority. It's a anomaly. It's a anomaly.
Anomaly.
Sorry, anomaly.
But that's only because women have been suppressed for a long time and they weren't allowed into the workforce.
No, it's actually not
It's
true
also
because
because women have traditionally made a third less for the same jobs.
nope, not.
And they've been in in society, they've been viewed as the matriarchs who are supposed to take care of their family and hold down the house and do all those things. So it's not as easy for a woman to do all those things and then work full time outside the house and have a meaningful role and do everything.
But what I'm trying to say to you, so
So-
the first thing I want to debunk
Yeah,
is
it's a minority.
So,
Fuck yeah.
so I want to debunk something. The women make more than men. You could search it up. That's a myth. That's a myth 20 years ago. And the second thing is women don't go into STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
No,
Not
that's true.
really.
Traditionally, that's true.
They don't want to go into it.
But that's changing. If you look at the recent stats, that's changing.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say, it's still not a.
But it's
not-
also
still not a
kinda
large
like-
shift. A lot of women. I bet all of us here know women that are in nursing programs, or in
I know female doctors.
teaching, or
But, like,
Female
also
doctors
just
in my
kinda,
culture,
like-
that's really normal.
But doctor,
For doctors
but
and
doctor
lawyers.
is also the same thing as
Or
nursing.
engineers.
It's taking care of people.
But nurse-
It's the same thing.
Okay,
essentially.
so what you're saying is that like women are supposed to nurture and stay home.
No, I thought,
No, that's not what he's trying to
that's not what
say.
I said
That's
at
not what he's
all.
trying to say.
That's not what I said at all.
But he's saying that, like, you know, traditionally, women, even though I know now, as someone who's been in like STEM and also knows people who are in STEM, traditionally, Women are just not going in STEM. And then when I say STEM, it's tech.
Yeah.
Because women in tech
Yeah.
are out there.
Yeah.
No woman is doing math. And
Yeah.
I feel sad because it's like
Yeah.
math is pretty cool. Engineering, women
I
are
did okay at
engineering.
math.
But science,
I did okay.
But what?
I
there's
didn't
different
decide-
than
I
doing
decided not
okay
to
in
go
math
that
and
way.
actually, but I feel like there's
Yeah.
a difference between doing okay in math in like high school and like maybe taking a course in college and
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
taking the degree and
Yeah.
actually going into the field. Because I feel like those women who are actually going into the field
Yeah.
deal with a lot more. I'm talking about women who are not in tech. Tech, I feel like tech is really diverse right now. The other parts of STEM are just not as diverse. And I'm sorry. And it's like, I feel like it's just going to take a really long time. And it, like he said, it's because traditionally women are not usually pushed to those roles. And it's like, it is what it is though. It's not like gatekeeping, but it's like usually
The life of a woman is a lot more
they're
easier.
seen as being nurturers. They're supposed to be nurturers.
No, it's because
they're
women-
not supposed to be in science and saving lives, and because unfortunately, back in the day, long time ago, before we had the vote and all that, it wasn't women. That's what was preached. Women
So
are
can I ask you a question?
are too
who gave the right
feeble-minded.
for
They don't have the
I
ability.
already know
to
what he's gonna
reason.
say.
They don't
I
have
already
the
know what he's
ability
gonna
to
say.
No, but
make
can
an
I,
argument.
can I ask
So-
you? Can I ask you a question?
who
though?
gave women the right to vote.
If what rights do women have? What more rights do women have today? In terms
than
of
they did back then.
yeah, I'm
have a lot-
I'm saying sorry today right now. What rights do men have that women don't?
Do men have that
Yeah.
women don't, or women don't?
That women don't have that like equal rights as men right now today.
Right now, I think a lot has changed for the better, for sure.
So why are they not
we have
going
equal
into-
rights to property and
Yeah.
divorce, and a lot
Yep.
of that has changed for sure.
So why are they not
I still
going-
think that there's a lot of like underlying. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be like a women's feminist course right now,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a lot of different underlying reasons why women are suppressed and what women are held down. It's not just laws, right? Like it's also social, the way like, we live in society and the social
Household.
norms and all those things.
But those sounds like honestly, that sounds like excuses because adversity is going to come in every single metric.
And
You can be,
adversity
you can be
builds character, and I'm not against that.
And so what I'm trying to say is that just sounds like an excuse. In my opinion, if
Listen,
you
are talking to a woman who supports herself, who's been on her own since she was
Yeah,
17,
so-
who doesn't make excuses. So I'm not making excuses for any woman.
so what we're trying to say is that like okay, you can go into these fields, you can go into STEM, but yet women don't go into it because they're biologically hardwired to do more nurturing type of jobs
That's not, the argument I'm making.
and work
I'm
with
saying
people.
that's the label that men have put on us.
I mean,
I'm saying that's
And
biological.
maybe women are more nurturing biologically. Maybe they are.
They 100% are.
honestly. Yeah. But that doesn't mean we're not capable of doing other things.
I'm not saying they are.
Or
I'm saying that
adding
they just don't.
value
They just
to-
don't do it
to
though.
any of those areas in STEM. Right?
also,
I'm just saying they don't do it though. Like they can do it, but they don't go into it. Like
It's-
the
Hey,
door's
listen,
open.
I have girlfriends who I grew up with, who are doctors,
Yeah.
who are lawyers, definitely who went into nursing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists. I have a good friend that's a scientist right now.
What I'm trying to say is,
But it's what you're into.
it's rare. It's rare. That's what.
No,
that's
you're
what
it's kind
Right, it is
of well, it kind of is because like usually I would say like STEM for women is kind of rare, but it's now it's kind of being pushed more now than it was like 10 years ago and 20 years ago. Because like now they're actually teaching kids how to code. Like kids in grade 3 are learning how to
Yes.
code like right now.
But what I'm trying to, but that's because
Good.
that's
Because
because
of the tech push. That's the thing.
but regardless,
It's
so in your classes, how many women were there in each of your classes?
Technically,
you
we
the
had
only
the same
girl?
no, not this. No, technically, my program was a cohort, so
Yeah.
we had the same people, regardless if it was a tech class,
Yeah,
design
yeah,
class.
I get what you're
We'd
saying.
have the same people.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's different than if you would ask someone who was in like a larger program. Like it'd be different. Like because I know people who are probably one of 3 girls, or probably one of a few girls,
Yeah.
probably when they were in like bigger programs. Because my program was actually pretty small. So
Oh.
like it was obviously like it's gonna be a different experience, like
Well,
you said.
how many girls were here in class though?
I'd say like a good chunk. Like I'd say like majority of them were girls because I went to a design
Oh,
program.
your design. Okay.
Can
So
I
that's
ask you
the
a
thing.
question?
Yeah.
How many female professors did you have?
I didn't really have, to be honest, I had, counting on my 3 years, I think I only had like 3.